Within this Modern Day Heroes unit study, the first thing we did in the ELA section was to identify some specific objectives for our students. They are to identify the 9 hero archetype characteristics. Students will compare the hero archetype to real-life modern-day heroes and identify 3 differences. They will compare the hero archetype to a nonfiction book subject and provide textual evidence supported by additional research as to if the real-life person would be considered a hero. They will create an original, believable graphic novel story that includes a hero and uses all the literary elements to tell the story. And finally, they will complete a final creative or written project identifying the 5 ways in which they as themselves can personally be a hero. Some of the state standards that we'll cover in this unit are 8.2, that the student will develop and deliver multimodal interactive presentations collaboratively and individually. 8.6, that the student will read, comprehend, and analyze a variety of nonfiction texts. 8.7, that the student will write in a variety of forms to include narrative, expository, persuasive, and reflective, with an emphasis on expository and persuasive writing. And 8.9, the student will find, evaluate, select, and synthesize appropriate resources to produce a research project. The ELA national standards that will be covered in this unit are that students will read a wide range of print and non-print texts to build an understanding of texts, of themselves, and of the cultures of the United States and the world. Among these texts are fiction and nonfiction, classic and contemporary works. Students will use a variety of technological and information resources to gather and synthesize information and to create and communicate knowledge. Students will participate as knowledgeable, reflective, creative, and critical members of a variety of literary communities, and students will employ a wide range of strategies as they write and use different writing process elements appropriately to communicate with different audiences for a variety of purposes. Some of the ELA key concepts that we'll cover in this unit include the hero character archetype, Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung, Greek literature, literary elements such as setting, plot, characterization, conflict, point of view, theme, and tone, nonfiction literature analysis, what literature circles are and the roles of the different members of a literature circle, using self-reflection, free writing, and literature bias. Within this unit, there's 4 larger activities that will have some activities within them, but we'll cover the 4 activities here. The first is the hero archetype. This is where students will read excerpts of Greek literature to identify the 9 different hero archetype characters. They'll then break into small groups and complete a graphic organizer to map out the characteristics, and each group will be assigned one of the characteristics to act out in a short skit in front of the class. This will take 1 class period. A second activity will be a literature circle. So students will go online and complete a survey to identify which of the 7 books that they will read in a literature circle. This way they aren't trying to just be with a friend, and they'll hopefully be reading something that they're actually interested in. So once they're assigned their nonfiction novel, they will be expected to complete readings both as a group and independently, and there will be a lot of different activities that they do together or alone in order to better understand the book that they're reading and look at how it connects with their hero archetype that we've been studying. So students will provide textual evidence and additional research of events from their novel to determine if their subject is a hero. This will last 5.5 class periods. The third activity that they will be completing will be a graphic novel study, which is exciting because a lot of students, I think, really enjoy graphic novel or would enjoy graphic novels. It opens up, to students who maybe don't like to read a full novel, to teach them that there's positives in reading any type of literature. So we'll look at it together and identify how the same literary elements that are used in traditional literature are depicting heroes in the graphic novel. Students will actually create their own graphic novel short story. They can either draw it or use computer illustrations, and these stories will include a hero and all of the literary elements that we've studied. This will take 1.5 class periods. The final activity will be a self-reflection project, and it will be about being a hero. Students will be able to compile everything that they studied during the unit in a self-reflection on how they can personally be a hero. There will be a lot of freedom in this activity for students to decide how they want to present this information. They can do it as a multimedia presentation or a 5-paragraph essay. They could do a collage of images, but everything will have a writing requirement. So all projects will identify 5 characteristics and that which they think they can personally follow in the modern day hero archetype. That concludes what we would do in our ELA segment of this unit, and I think students will be really excited about it.